4 weeks remain in the regular season, 64 games. One playoff spot has been clinched by the 49ers. 13 spots are available. And what a scrum it's going to be down the stretch. Today we are going to draft what we believe are the best remaining individual games over the balance of the next 4 weeks of the season. Chris, I'm in a good mood. I'll give you the first pick. I'd give you the first pick even if I was in a bad mood. But I am in a good mood if you care.
Good.
You get the first pick.
Good. I'm glad to hear you're in a good mood. And, yeah, I know you're nice even on bad days. You give me the first pick. I'm going to go to one that you hit on earlier in the show. I don't think this is brain surgery here. Yeah, the Ravens versus the 49ers, Christmas night. I mean, the two number one seeds in each conference. You know, the two teams that kind of look at themselves as the bullies of their conference going against each other. Right? I mean, they played in the Super Bowl in the 2012 season. You know, there's a lot of things that could be dictated there. The number one seed, whatever, Super Bowl preview. Either way, I think that's the one that I look at to be the marquee matchup down the stretch here.
I'm torn on this one, but I'm going to stick with that same weekend one day earlier. Dallas at Miami. Rematch of Super Bowl 6. I believe it was Super Bowl 6, Dallas, Miami, the Jimmy Johnson Bowl, the Leon Lett return match, even though they're not playing in Dallas. No chance of snow, no chance of blocked field goals being touched prematurely, although that could happen. But the Cowboys need to prove they can beat good teams on the road. The Dolphins, will they or won't they have Tyreek Hill? We'll see. But a key game for both teams. Miami trying to hold on to the division title, trying to chase the one seed. Cowboys trying to win the division. Very impactful game for both playoff trees in each conference.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's definitely one of the ones I look at. I'm checking, too, to make sure. Yeah, you were right. It was Super Bowl 6, so good job by you there. Good job on your history there. That one, I mean.
I think the final score 21-7?
I don't
that one.
Here I got it right here. Let me just. I'm choking under the pressure, anyways. Here it's 24-3 Dallas, right? And then of course, Miami will win the next two Super Bowls after that, and the next one being that perfect season. I think if I didn't take Ravens 49ers though, the Cowboys Dolphins might have been the one I went with first, just to piggyback off your conversation there. I mean, that's going to be pretty unbelievable to see. All that speed on the field, that's all we talk about with those two teams, the speed. And then the Cowboys, we know, love to play man-to-man, and you're going to play man-to-man all game long against Tyreek Hill. I think that could be very, very interesting. I think I'm going to go, to this week as one of the games I'm going to look at right here. I'm going to go Dallas at the Buffalo Bills. Bills kind of hot, playing some good football at home. Door was cracked open for them in the AFC. Now it's starting to look like it's halfway open for them to come in through the AFC playoffs and be a real player here. So that, Dallas, the test on the road, cold, up in Buffalo, all of that crowd, I'm excited to watch that game this weekend.
Super Bowls 28 and 29. Don't lose your helmet. Don't hold the ball low. If you're about to score a touchdown, Leon Lett, his name pops up again. But, yeah, a very meaningful game for both teams. Cowboys, this is their first chance in back-to-back weeks to prove they can go on the road and win over a good
Super
team.
Bowl 27 and 28.
7 and 6.
Yeah.
27 and 28. I got 28 and 29.
Well, 29 is
right.
29 is 49ers, Chargers. 30 is Pittsburgh Cowboys. That's all right. I got it. I got your back there, big guy. I got you.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to go, unless they realign the conferences, this will never be a Super Bowl game. The Dolphins at the Ravens, Week 17, because that quite possibly will be for the one seed in the AFC, and depending upon what the Dolphins do the next 2 weeks, we've seen this before where a team could go all the way from one seed to maybe even out of the playoffs. It's not impossible for the Dolphins to just fall apart. If Tyreek Hill can't play, it's not impossible. They lost 5 in a row last year in December. It's not impossible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you got to win some games. And when you have the Cowboys and the Ravens back-to-back with the Bills looming, my gosh, and you just lost to the Titans, and the Jets are coming to town, and they're feeling kind of frisky, the Dolphins better turn this around. And they'll have an opportunity, if they can take care of business the next 2 weeks, to beat the Ravens and maybe even be the one seed in the AFC. So that's a big one looming coming up.
No question. And I think the one thing that this exercise shows us and proves to us, at least, is, damn, the Dolphins and the Cowboys got a lot of games of the year coming up, right? And then you throw in the Ravens, they're second there in this list. I mean, The Ravens are another team. It's 3 out of the 4 last weeks. You go, damn, they got to play them. Oh gosh. So, man, that's going to make it exciting that we got some high quality football teams and some big moments. And to your point, I'm going to go in that same week you chose Miami and Baltimore and go Detroit at Dallas. Detroit reeling right now, not playing good. I mean, they got to be looking at it going, thank God Green Bay lost on Monday night. Things might have got tight and dicey in the NFC North. But, yeah, I look at that. There's an interesting matchup. First off, can the Lions right the ship here? The Cowboys going to be maybe playing for the NFC East title, the 2nd seed, whatever. And then I think you also look at Detroit, that big old line. They can run the ball. Can Dallas stop that? Right? There's a lot of interesting things there, I think, throughout. That Detroit defense is bleeding a little bit right now. Dallas's offense is on fire. Well, a lot of good storylines with that one as well.
Well, and look, Detroit's just got to win some games now. You know, the Vikings narrative coming out of Week 14 was and is all they have to do is win the next 4 games, and they win the division because along the way they will have swept the Lions and caught them.
Right.
But you know what? The Vikings might only need to beat the Lions twice. They could lose their other 2 because if the Lions don't beat the Broncos on Saturday night, and if they lose to the Cowboys Week 17 and the Vikings sweep them, I mean, well, this Lions team we've seen recently, would you be stunned if they don't win another game in the regular season? It's not likely, but it wouldn't be stunning. At least it could come down to the Vikings winning those 2 and maybe taking the division. All right, I'm going to go to Week 18 because I think this game will be for the AFC East Championship.
You're calling your
the way
shot.
It's going to play out.
Yeah.
Bills at Dolphins, and there's a chance the loser doesn't get in. And even if it's the loser gets in, big difference between home team, road team, wild card round. So we'll know the specific consequence, and maybe that's going to be our game Sunday night to end the season. Bills at Dolphins, but I think the AFC East Championship is going to be riding on it, and maybe the loser doesn't get to the table at all for the postseason.
Yeah, it's the way Miami's playing right now. Yeah, on some of these games they got, I don't think that thought is crazy at all. And that would be awesome to see those 2 teams go at it in the last week of the season to figure out seeding, home playoff games, and all of that.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.